Hey campers, George here, back in the man cave. Remember this guy? Barlow. Mail call. Needs some love. Been thinking about this. I really like a white handle, so I don't want to replace the handle. We're going to have to fix this. Let's check it out. So like I said, I've been thinking about this and I want to try something. I'm going to try and make some magic dust from the handle and mix it with super glue and fill this hole and then finish it all up. Let's have at it. Just using 80 grain paper here and trying to get some filler to go with the super glue. Well, we'll find out, right? If it doesn't, we can always make other handles. After all, you guys sent me a bunch of stuff to do that. I got some 220 here. I'm going to use that as well, just to get some finer magic dust. It's a little darker than I thought it would be. Well, we'll see what happens. Or replace the scales. Not that I want to take anything apart right now. I've had such bad luck doing that lately. Let's see if that'll dry. Huh. So, if you remember, this Barlow I got in a mail call. And let me open it up for you. Overall, really good condition. And I like the white scales on it. Unfortunately, it was damaged here, and I attempted to fix it. You note I used the word attempted. Word of the day. It didn't work. I think that the mix I used was dirty. So although it works well, it's really hard and everything, and I sanded it down and it's smooth. Not good enough for me. We got to do better than that. Then I thought, well, how do I do that? And I went scratching in the boxes and came up with this guy, which I believe I also got in a mail call. Actually has 2 scales on it. Well, came with 1 scale on and 1 scale off and the bolster cover missing. Well, these bolster covers are kind of hard to find. And I thought, I wonder if this will go on this. Like this. And then we'll have a 2-tone Barlow. It's a colonial. You can see it here. So that means we have to take things off, which is always a challenge on this type of setup. This is off. So we're ahead of the game there. We got to take this off and put that on. Then we're going to clean it up, polish it, and make it all sharp and shiny. I got to change. This is my good clothes. I got to put the working clothes on. So here we have these 2 guys. Now this guy's in pretty good shape. Like I said, it's got a little bit of rust on it. The blades could do some cleanup and just a general polish and shine, and then sharpen it and make it all nice. But we got to get rid of this, and we're going to use this guy. This guy was in pretty good shape except for this. And the way they do this is really weird. They use these things, which is a pin you push through and then you smash it over. It's actually hollow, and it holds it together. I don't have anything like that. I'm just going to have to go with some regular pins. Another thing I want to try, and you're going to have to bear with me here and let me know what you think. It's got nothing to do with how I fix it. It's all to do with what you're seeing on the screen. And that is what I want to do. I really want to try something new and up my game on my videoing. So you can help me out by putting a comment below when you've seen it. So we got to get this off. Now, I'm not worried about breaking it, but I don't want to damage anything else because we're going to replace it. So we're going to whack away at it We're going to have to take this apart, I think. So here you can see where we are. Now, I didn't realize it at the time, but I took the wrong scale off the other one and landed up having to strip it down, which is not a problem because I'm going to use its parts for my spare parts list. So we have it together here. Now we got to really pin it all together and make sure it works. But before I do that, I want to clean the parts. It's always easier to do it when it's in pieces. So we're going to do that. So here we have it laid out. And what I'm going to do, these I'm just going to rub them off, make sure they're clean, do the edges so that the edges are shiny. Same thing with the springs. And then we'll do the blades. And I want to do the bolster covers while I have everything apart. Going to do it by hand. Just going to use sandpaper. I'll go through it, especially on the blades. I'll start with probably 400 then go to 1000, 2000, and then they'll be ready just to be polished once it's all back together again. So they're all cleaned up now. Now it's to put it together. Okay, so we hit a little bump in the road. When I was pinning these two pins bent. Can you see what I mean there? Look there. This is not straight. This one is further back. The handle is further back here than that side. The pins bent and have pulled everything over. I have to take these two pins out, so gonna do that now. Yeah, that was not good. Yeah, so here I am 3 weeks later. Yeah. I have to say that this turned out to be probably one of the hardest challenges I've done. This project, I learned a lot and it tested me. Here's the knife here. See that? As you saw, I put it all together and discovered that when I was pinning it, I bent the pins and the handle at the back was at an angle. The whole knife was skew. So I had to take it all apart and redo it. Well, after about times, I finally got it, kinda. To be honest, I put it aside, and you realize now that I, did a bunch of other projects in between. Needed to step away. Very frustrated with it, but finally it worked. And I'm glad because I really like this idea. I like the idea of the two-tone handle. It's different. You don't see a lot of that. And this makes it a little unique. Now, like I said that I pinned it together, kinda. There is a little gap, okay? And I found that as soon as I tried to get rid of that gap, I couldn't open the blades. So I have to leave it there, unfortunately. Is it a big deal? No. You barely notice it. and it cleaned up really nicely. I like this project. With all the frustration in that, now that it's done, I'm like, yeah, I did it. Barely. I like a Barlow. I love them. There's just something about a Barlow that appeals to everybody. And, you know, it's a very simple knife. Typically, you get them in 1 or 2 blade Barlows. And handy. Great EDC pocket. So simple. And like I, you know, designed a long time ago for a businesswoman way back in England who came up with the idea, and a friend of hers who made knives made it for her, and it turned out to be a very popular style. So there you go, my Barlows. What do they say? 1 is none, 2 is 1. Well, here you go. 2 is 1, a bolster. Yep. And I couldn't find one to match, because when they make them, the Barlow on the bolsters are different. These ones just happen to match. Turned out great. So there you go. A little frustrating. Sorry, I didn't show you me redoing it. I needed to concentrate. I really had to pay attention to what I was doing, take my time. I found that when I started to rush the pinning, they would bend. I had to go really slowly on the pinning. And the way it goes together was a little unusual. I had to do the inside first and then get the scales and the bolsters on, which was a little different, but hey, we all learn, right? And next time, I know what to expect. I really do want to take knives apart more, because I feel you can clean them up more. You can get a bit of clean out of them. These guys really shined up. It wasn't in bad condition in the beginning, so that helped. Got a nice little shine on it, sharpened it. We're all good. Safe out there. You're getting frustrating. Tip. I can't tell you how many times I hit my fingers with the hammer. Other than that, things went well. And it's frustrating. My best advice is, when you get to that point, put it aside, step away. It's just going to get worse if you don't walk away from it, do something else, take your mind off it, and then come back later, and you'll find you'll get it together. Just saying. Don't forget, like, share, subscribe. You know the story. Pretty sure I'll be back. If you're watching this video, I'm in San Diego right now, and I had the opportunity to put this together and edit it while I'm waiting to go to the airport, and hopefully it'll be out in time. Thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. We all learn together. We'll see you again soon.